Hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. So for the sake of time, and since I do have someone on, I'm going to kind of get started just talking about what I'm doing today and who I am. So I am AlaJoy, and also known as Barakah the Muslimah. I own a business called AlaJoy and Associates, and we provide proper protection, financial literacy, and real estate. I'm a licensed real estate agent or realtor with Better Homes and Gardens, real estate metro brokers, located at the Cascade office. During the week, I wanted to be able to give back and provide information that a lot of people are looking for. We don't often know a lot about insurance, protection, and overall stability with our finances. So today, because this is the first one this week, I am going to kind of just introduce my business as well as tell you a little bit more about the services I provide and a little bit more about me. This video will be able to be reviewed later on my YouTube, which is, excuse me, the Barakah Blueprint with AlaJoy. Look me up. So anyway, my name is AlaJoy, as I stated, and I am a licensed realtor, and I just think that in receiving my insurance license and receiving my license in real estate really took me on a journey through financial literacy, understanding proper protection, and just knowing a lot more about home ownership. And I have just always been a person who has wanted to give. I've worked in social service for 20 plus years, so this is a new career. And part of just what is a passion and what I feel like my purpose is to help people and to provide information. So with the information that I have, experienced through life, worked in the different fields, as well as just educated and trained most recently. I want to share that information with the community in an effort to make sure that more and more of us are financially stable, that we're providing for our families freely without debt, and that we're also creating and building legacy. So, as I stated, I've been in business for 20 plus years in social service, foster care, helping and providing kids. I set my schedule out every week for Mondays to be specifically about insurance and proper protection. I will discuss universal index life. I will discuss term. I will discuss whole, investing, things like that. And as I grow in my knowledge, I will share more information. Also on these lives, I will have special guests, realtors, financial professionals, entrepreneurs, regular community members that have input and insight. And so as I go through this week, you'll kind of get an idea of what each night will be, and then you can potentially continue to join, learn information, ask any questions. I am free to answer any, put them in the chat or inbox me. Of course, this will be on YouTube later for your reference, and there you can also get my email address and my phone number. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is why financial protection matters for every family. So I know that a lot of people may think, well, I don't make enough money, or I don't own a home, or I don't own, have large purchases that need to be protected. But when I talk about life insurance and death insurance, it is more than just a death benefit. I also sell, critical illness, cancer insurance, things that are needed if something was to happen to you, and you want to make sure that your family and your belongings are protected in the long term. So again, our foundation here is faith, family, and freedom, and my mission is to help families build stability through real estate, financial literacy, and proper protection. I'm also partnered and powered by Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, Metro Brokers, Colonial Life, as well as World System Builders, where I help individuals and families better understand how to protect their income, their future, and their peace of mind. This Monday series is all about protection, stability, and preparing for the unexpected. Because as we know, with this economy, with this world, with the way things are, we never know what's going to come tomorrow. You can be employed and then be unemployed tomorrow. You can be healthy and then be unhealthy and sick tomorrow and need the proper protection to cover your family. So why does protection matter? As I stated, it's your family, right? So let's just say you and your spouse are covering the bills, and one of you gets hurt and needs some special treatment. If you don't have the proper protection over your family, you can start to lose things. You can start to stress. And if we know anything about stress, it definitely does not help your health. So if you're trying to recover and feel better, of course, it's always better to have less stress. And as we also know, financial stress is a great burden on all of us because each of us have bills, each of us have responsibilities, children, and other financial obligations. The importance of income protection. You want to make sure, like I said, that if something happens to you, that you don't lose a significant amount of income to where you're not able to pay your mortgage, or your children are no longer able to go to the activities and participate in things that they used to, that now you're having struggles providing food and putting, those things on the table for your family. So we want to make sure that's important to us. Our family is important, and we don't often know how insurance covers us. But alhamdulillah, thank God that, we have people that are able to explain these things and help us along the way so that we understand what we have. Emergencies families don't prepare for. Like I said, you go out tomorrow and you have a life insurance policy and it is only a death benefit, right? And you go out and something happens to you or your loved one and someone is hurt. You don't get the death benefit if you're just hurt and cannot go to work. So you want to make sure that you have short-term and long-term and other income that you can pull from related to your insurance that will provide food and financial, support for your family during that time so that you can really recover. In this world, we have learned to be reactive, right? We're always waiting on the next text message or the next live announcement or the next email or phone call that we receive. And part of what we need to do is be in preparation, right? So it's always better to be prepared as opposed to reactive. Right? We don't want to have to rush when something happens and try to figure it out and move around and lose money and lose, what we're trying to do and all the things that we already have. So we want to be able to plan for what may happen. Right? So we want our money to be protected. We want our home and the other things that we own to be protected. And that's the best way to be, is prepared, as opposed to constantly reacting to, oh, this happened. Oh, now that I know this, I need to go get this. Oh, now I'm hurting, or this is happening in my household. Now I'll go get insurance. And the thing about that is we never know if that would be available to us after something happens. So it's much better to be prepared. So if those things do happen, inshallah, God keeps us all healthy, keeps us all moving forward without any delays or any issues. However, life is happening for us all, and there will be times where people will get sick, and you want to make sure that your family is protected during that time. And one thing I learned about while being a CPR instructor is that the feedback that I got from people when they actually had to be involved in the compressions is when they knew what to do, they were able to command the room and calm everyone down and step right in and do what needs to happen. As opposed to somebody falls out right there and no one knows what they're doing. And now they are scrambling around trying to figure out, do you know CPR? Do you know CPR? Well, can you do this? Well, how many compressions? Well, how fast, right? So it's so much better if you already know what to do and what your family plan is for protection and insurance. Financial peace of mind is something that we all want to attain, right? We all want to know that we can pay our bills, that we can pay our mortgages, that our kids can go to school without worrying about, if they have dinner or if they have something else that they may want or need, right? We want to be able to go to bed at night not thinking about how we're going to pay a bill the next day, if the lights are going to be cut off, if something else is going to happen. We want to make sure that we have that peace of mind. And once you're financially free from debt and you know that things are covered, it is so much easier to move forward and to just live day to day, right? I never want people to feel ashamed for not knowing these things. A lot of us were simply not taught. There were a lot of things that we were not taught about that now we're learning, right? Now we're figuring it out after the fact. One little nugget that I throw out there related to real estate is, if you are around the age of 40, do not feel discouraged that you have not purchased a home yet. The average person buying a home, a first-time home buyer, is 40 years old. And that's because we have dealt with, Y2K, 9/11, COVID, 2008 recession. I mean, all of the things that have happened since a lot of us have become adults have allowed us to miss out on opportunities to be homeowners and to be financially free. But it's never too late. And I am learning every day as I am teaching you all. I am learning nuggets to help me be financially free, for me to have that financial freedom that we all need. It's important that we have those things. So I just want to give you that, understanding that we can get through this together. I am the woman for the job. I don't know if you saw any of my ads previously, but I feel like, number one, my first passion when I went to school was in accounting and finance. I actually wanted to be a CPA. I loved numbers. I loved math. God took me a different way and led me to social service. And so I have a degree in psychology. I've had work with a multitude of types of people. And I've seen what it looks like not to be prepared. I've lived in spaces where I wasn't prepared. And it's okay, because now that you know better, you can do better. And while we each are trying to grow, and now our kids are graduating high school, some of us have adult kids, some of our kids are preparing for life, for the real world, we want to be able to protect them and add to what they're doing and give them the things that we didn't have, right? Because it's important for that next generation. And we quite often talk about the generations after us and what they don't have and how we want that to be the better generation. Well, what that takes is each of us stepping up and taking ownership and finding out what we need and being able to educate the young people. So along the way, I will also be implementing some workshops where you can bring your young adults to those workshops, and I can help them learn the things that we didn't learn in school. Right? So we talked about how we never learned how to write checks and balance a checkbook in school. Now, of course, if you took economics or one of those courses in high school, maybe you did. I didn't have one of those courses. So that wasn't a regular class that we went to. And so, of course, my mom told me how to write checks, right? But what if you didn't have someone that showed you how to write checks? Right now, if no one tells you how to monitor that swipe and that tap, you're just tapping away. And before you know it, bam, all these expenses have cleared, and now you're like, I wish I would have done this, and I wish I would have done that. And along this journey with me and AlaJoy and Associates, I will help you build a financial foundation that will help you learn how to manage and budget your finances, how to invest to grow your money, and how to have financial freedom through home ownership and proper protection. These are the goals that I have for my business. And I pray that each of you gain some knowledge from this. I hope that a lot of you, are able to continue with me. I will be talking about insurance and proper protection, and we'll get more involved in that week to week. But this starts the first one. It will be every Monday at 6 p.m. And like D'Averick said on the live, doom spending. Sometimes we're going through so many other things. It's like, we don't know if the world will be here tomorrow, right? Of course. So then we're just like, I'm going to buy this. Let me go ahead and I want my dream car. I want my dream this. And we're not planning out how we're spending that money because, inshallah, God allows us to have a long, healthy life. And if so, right, We want to be able to have that money in 10 years, and 20 years, and 30 years, so that we're able to. A lot of us are getting older. I am over 40 now. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you didn't already have it going on, if you didn't already have it planned, let's do it. I am your friend. I am your friendly agent, life insurance agent and realtor. And I look forward to spending more time with you guys, educating you all. There are no wrong answers. There are no crazy questions. You don't know what you don't know. And I want you to know so that we can all grow and be better. A part of Conversations with AlaJoy is I want to help do this in a joyful way. I want you to understand that finances, real estate, insurance, it doesn't have to be daunting. It doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be negative. We can approach this in a way that we both feel confident about what's going on and we are both growing together. I want to partner with you all on those things. I really thank each and every one of you for joining me on our very first Monday Live. I really appreciate it. As I stated, these first few couple weeks, maybe even, as I'm introducing what I'm doing and I'm introducing who I am, these may be less than 30 minutes. However, as we go forward, I would like these to be an hour long, because I will also be adding some amazing special guests. Invitations have already gone out. I am waiting for support back, and I will let you all know. We will also go on tours and go to other events during this time. So there may be some open houses that you attend with me on my Saturday morning lives with real estate. I plan to make this very informative, very fun, and free. I want you to feel free to ask any question. Ask whatever support you need, because if you don't know, you don't know. So if you'd like more information, feel free to DM me, start a conversation. My phone number is 678-656-2154, 678-656-2154. My email address is april.martinez@metrobrokers.com. Please look me up, DM me, text me, call me to schedule. Along with this video, when I post it to YouTube, it will also have that information, as well as a link to schedule with me for a 30-minute conversation, just you and I, and we can accomplish your goals. I look forward to helping each and every one of you accomplish whatever desires financially and freedom that you want in your life. I'll see you on Wednesday for Wealth Wednesday, where we will be talking about financial literacy. So guys, I look forward to seeing you. Thank you all for joining. AlaJoy and Associates, AlaJoy, Barakah the Muslimah, signing off. You guys have a good night.